What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? If it's checking your phone and mindlessly scrolling for a bit, then we have something in common. Instead of getting our day started, we watch people on Instagram go to the gym, travel to Bali, or write 3 novels all before 8 a.m. Aside from wasting our precious time in the morning, this can also have consequences for our mental well-being. According to an article I read last week, it puts us directly into a state of being reactive rather than actively constructing our vision for the day. Okay, I lied, I saw this in a TikTok, not an article, but it's still true. We are bombarded with a million pieces of information while our brain isn't even fully awake yet. This puts us into a state of distraction. It triggers a stress response and makes us lose track of our actual goals for the day. No wonder I'm feeling anxious all the time. So I decided to change something, and for the following week I'm not gonna use my phone the first hour after waking up. Let's see what happens. Oh, and I'm Luka, by the way, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Hi. Basically, we have a problem because I'm really stupid. I recorded little updates all throughout the week about how I was feeling and kind of like my thoughts on the challenge. I just wanted to edit the whole thing, and then I realized I recorded all of them without the sound. Well, this is pretty much useless. So I guess I'll just have to tell you about my experience like this. We're just gonna pretend like this is day 1. I just woke up, I made some tea. What were my thoughts on day 1? Let me look it up. So I definitely had this itch to check my phone right when I woke up. And then I always had to remind myself, wait, no Luka, you're not allowed to do that. And that happened a couple of times throughout the morning. I was making my tea and then I was like, oh, let's check my phone. And then I was brushing my teeth and I was like, oh, I haven't checked my phone yet, let's check my phone. So yeah, that's on having withdrawal symptoms. But it wasn't that bad, I just always had to remind myself, uh-oh, wait a minute. And then I did something else again and it was okay. Like while I was doing another activity, I wasn't really thinking about my phone. I definitely wanted to do this challenge because I feel anxious a lot throughout the day. And a big source of me feeling anxious is definitely me worrying about not being productive enough, or not achieving my goals on time, or having too many tasks on my to-do list and not knowing where to start. So I was thinking that if I just started my morning in a more productive way, then I could be more productive throughout the day and then feel less anxious. It doesn't really work like that, but nice idea. Yeah, no, but I just want to be more intentional with how I start my days. And you know, when you start your day productively and you feel that sense of accomplishment, so you just keep going. For example, when you say to yourself, oh, I'm just gonna tidy up my desk, it's gonna be real quick as a way to get started. And then you clean your desk and it's such a nice feeling that you just continue to clean the whole apartment. Okay, I don't always clean the whole apartment, not gonna lie. But usually the hardest part in doing anything is always to get started. That's kind of my motivation for why I'm doing this challenge. And yeah, obviously I didn't feel any changes yet on day 1, like I just did it once. But I have to admit that I did feel kind of agitated. I always had this slight urge to check my phone just to watch some Instagram stories or read my comments on TikTok or reply to messages and check the weather forecast. I am weirdly obsessed with checking the weather app, but nothing too dramatic because I knew that I could just check my phone in like an hour and it would be fine. And it was kind of weird to not have something to do right away in the morning. I got ready, I had some tea, and then I was like, now what do? Do I just start working right away? That feels kind of weird. Oh hi, and welcome to day 2 to 5. I just changed the location so we can pretend it's a different day now. Basically I grouped those days together because they were kind of similar. At least they are in my memory, maybe they weren't. What I noticed is that on the days where I had a fixed plan, for example I had an appointment early in the morning, or I had a certain task that I needed to accomplish, I had something to do and then I didn't really care about checking my phone. But on the days where I didn't have any real plans in the morning, I still felt very much lost and I kept wanting to check my phone because I had this itch to distract myself. But I mean, that's a given. When we're busy and immersed in a certain activity, we don't really think about other things. So I wanted to create alternative activities that I could do in the morning instead of checking my phone. And I kind of tried some meditation and journaling, and I played the piano a bit, but it was very sporadically. I didn't really stick to it. But that might be something for the future, for sure. Usually I just got ready, got dressed, brushed my teeth, drank some tea, and then I went straight to work because I didn't know what else to do. But something that I definitely noticed is that when I wake up without my phone, it takes me a lot longer to wake up. Mentally wake up, I mean. Because I wasn't on my phone, I would just get out of bed immediately and I was walking around my apartment still being half asleep, and I don't know, I'm not used to that. And now it takes my mind a few minutes to properly wake up. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it's also a good thing for your mind to wake up more slowly. Maybe it's even a nicer way to get your day started slowly instead of looking on your phone and being like, immediate stress and information overload. Oh, and I don't think I was necessarily more productive in the mornings. I know I just said that I went straight to work, but that's not really true. I think I just replaced checking my phone with other random activities, like emptying the dishwasher or taking out the trash or like tidying little bits and pieces in my room. It's still procrastination, but I would argue that it's a bit more useful than checking my phone. I don't know. And it's a more peaceful way to get your day started. Now we are on day 6, hello. And day 6 was the day when everything changed. That sounds very dramatic, but I think I had an epiphany. I was doing some research. I was just reading a few articles that came up on Google search. Basically, I was reading about how checking your phone immediately after waking up affects our brains. And it's scary because it's literally so bad. You just woke up, your brain is literally still in sleep mode, and just like that, we're confronted with all of this information, especially when your brain is in that half awake, half asleep kind of state. It's really bad. And worst case scenario is that you read something really stressful online, just checking the news. There's so much misery going on in the world. Or your boss or your teacher writes you a really mean and stressful email, and then you pretty much carry around that stress for the rest of the day, even if it's only subconsciously. But even in the best case scenario where you get some really nice messages from your friends, or you see some really funny videos on TikTok, you still end up being distracted, and instead of prioritizing yourself, you're prioritizing other people. And that's kind of what I said earlier in the introduction part. Instead of being proactive about how we want our day to go and what we want to accomplish, we're being reactive and just reacting to what other people want from us. And that just makes it harder for us later on in the day to focus on our own goals. There was this example, like just imagine you're still in your bed, you're kind of like tired and asleep, and then 30 people come into your room and tell you about their lives. You would be like, hell no, I can't deal with this right now. But then we're kind of doing the exact same thing when we check social media right after waking up. And this really applies to my own life as well. If I don't have a clear plan for the day, but I just have lots and lots of random tasks that I need to accomplish, I tend to procrastinate a lot because I don't really know where to begin. And my attention is also just anywhere but on the task. And then I keep switching from one thing to the other and then back again, and I never really do anything right. And maybe if I did start my day more intentionally, and if I sat down and thought about my own goals for the day, instead of just looking at random people's posts online, maybe I would be more focused on the things that I actually want to do. It's this vicious cycle. You start your day off by being distracted, so you're more distracted throughout the rest of the day, and then you feel anxious because you're distracted and not getting anything done, and then so you want to distract yourself again from feeling anxious, and then you do it all over again. I'm not saying that checking my phone in the morning is the single cause for all of my problems, but it's definitely not helping it. And I definitely still want to replace the time I spend checking my phone with doing something for myself. It doesn't even matter which exact activity I'm doing. It could be meditating, journaling, like just looking out the window, drinking tea, but just something so I can start the day with myself and my own thoughts. Okay, and finally it's time for the conclusion. First of all, obviously 1 week does not change that much. I still feel anxious sometimes, I still feel like I'm not focused sometimes, but this challenge has definitely made me more aware of my own phone and social media consumption and kind of how it really makes me feel. Because often when I use social media for too long, like my brain is fried afterwards. I just have a million random thoughts and I can't really calm down afterwards, or it's really hard for me to relax and just do something easygoing. And I definitely want to keep going and keep my mornings social media free. I don't think I'm gonna turn into a productivity guru with like a 10-step morning routine. But I mean, it's true what they say, your morning is the foundation for the rest of your day. And your day is the foundation for your week, which is the foundation for your month, and so on, and then it's your life. I didn't explain that well, but I think you get what I mean. Small changes to how we start our day can have a really big impact on our lives eventually. So yeah, that's that. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next week. Bye!